Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another comfy, cozy book discussion. I am your host, Hannah from the Teachers TBR. And if you're not aware, my book club is called Comfy Cozy, and we read all sorts of different things. We've been reading a lot of cozy mysteries, but we tend to just kind of read a little bit of everything. So this month, we're going to be discussing The Match by Sarah Adams, which I have asked my beautiful friends to join me for this book discussion. They read the book with us, and they're going to be discussing it with us tonight, which I'm going to let them introduce themselves just in case you've missed them or you don't know who these beautiful ladies are, because if you don't know who they are, I fear your life is lacking. Okay. But I will let them introduce themselves in just a second. But if you did read the book, and it may be a little hard to find, but leave a service dog emoji. There's two. There's a black one and a blonde one, like a golden retriever one. So if you want to leave either one of those, then go ahead and do that. But Gwen, if you would go ahead and introduce yourself, your channel, and tell us what kind of things you like to read.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Gwen. My channel is Gwendolyn Kensinger, and I love to read a little bit of everything. Mine is fantasy, but I do read some fantasy. I'm just not like a fantasy heavy reader. But I like literary fiction, contemporary fiction, romance, thrillers, mysteries, pretty much all of that kind of stuff. Sci-fi. I like sci-fi. Yeah, I'm willing to give everything a shot though.
What's your famous motto? What's the thing you
There,
always say?
which one? I have a couple, but I say there's a book for every reader and there's a reader for every book.
Yes, I like that one, but the one of form your own opinion.
Yeah, form your own opinion.
Mhm.
Yeah, I really, form your own opinion because even the other day, I made a post about it on Instagram that
Mhm.
but I said I rated the book 5 stars. I didn't say it was a good book, because I just feel like how people rate books, to me, star ratings are kind of silly because everybody rates a 5 stars is different to everybody, a 4 stars is different for everybody, a 3 stars. Unless you intimately know the person and what those star ratings mean, it's not going to give you a lot of information. I want to talk about what you liked, what you didn't like. Let's talk about the characters, the plot, the themes, the setting, all of that stuff. And think that gives you a broader scope of would I like this book rather than just oh, I gave it a 2 star. Oh, I gave it a 5 star or whatever like that. So, yeah.
Yes, for sure. All right, Jessie. Tell us who Jessie is.
Who is she? Hello, my name is Jessie. My channel is Reading with Jess. I typically read thrillers and romance, but I have been really trying within the past year, maybe year and a half to try new things like contemporary fiction. I'm going to be reading sci-fi soon. I just ordered a historical fiction. Who is she? We don't know her. But my bread and butter is thrillers and romance. And my famous motto when it comes to reading is I like stabbing or kissing. That's, yeah.
That is literally the best. Also, your favorite quote is, I'm a toxic reader.
I am a toxic reader.
That is so true. See, Hannah knows our taglines.
Yeah, I read this book as a toxic reader. We'll probably get to that. So, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But I also read for vibes, and this book was definitely a vibe.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And I'm so excited to talk about this book because there's a lot to unpack. So, let's see who's all here in the comments. Wendy's here, Paige is here, Jen's here. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Annie. Sam's here. Yes, Annie read it. Hi, Tina. Hi, Jen. All the service dogs, so cute. Does anybody know the difference between the two? Is there a significant difference between those two dogs?
I don't think that there is really.
Okay. Because I didn't want to accidentally say that.
I just did the blonde one because that's what's on the book.
Yeah.
But I think they're both cute.
They are so adorable. Hi, Yvette.
Howdy.
What did you say?
Oh, I was going to say, I couldn't find it on my laptop emoji thing, but I read it.
Hi, Kate. Hi, Erin. Robin's here. Gwen's popping in the comments too. Hi, Lisa. Ask Sam. What are we asking Sam? Oh, about the 2 breeds of dogs. Just different breeds. Okay, that's good to know. Because I'm sure there is a significance in the breeds. All right. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to go ahead and start talking about this book. Okay, so we will do a couple questions that do not dive into spoiler territory. So just in case there's anybody watching that has not read the book or like that is halfway through, and we will just kind of like talk about our general thoughts and then we will go into spoiler territory. I will give you plenty of warning before that happens. So if you're here and then you are afraid of that, just don't worry, I will let you know. So let's go ahead. Hi, Stacy. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but all right, let's go ahead and start with our first question. It's an easy question, and everybody in the comments, feel free to join in too. Have you read anything by Sarah Adams before, or is this your first book? If you've read anything by her, what books have you read?
So I have read 2 previous novels by her. When in Rome, absolutely loved that one, 5 stars. And then I also read The Off Limits Rule and gave that one 4 stars. I also have several of her books on my TBR, so I will be reading more by the author.
What is your favorite of the 2 of the ones that you've read?
When in Rome.
Okay. Yeah, what were you laughing about?
Jessie and I have a difference of opinion on Sarah Adams. Just saying.
Wait, I think we've talked about this before. I'm pretty sure we have. But go ahead. Go ahead, Jessie.
Okay, so the books I have read is, I think it's The Cheat Sheet. It's like the ballerina and the football one. I believe that's the title.
Mm-hmm.
I've read that one, and then I've read When in Rome, and then also Practice Makes Perfect, and then I have read The Match. It's kind of an ongoing joke between me and Gwen because I know she gave When in Rome 5 stars. I gave it 4 stars, but for some reason I'm just like, I can't believe you gave that book 5 stars. That wasn't that good. And she's like, you gave it 4 stars. I'm like, oh yeah, I did, didn't I? I don't know why. It's just
I think in her head she thinks she gave it 3 stars, which is a little bit more of a difference. But I'm like, literally, you enjoyed it. So what are you talking about?
I did enjoy it, but I don't know.
It's just funny because when we were reading it, we were both reading it at the same time on a reading sprint, and she would pick like little things apart about it where I was like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. And it was both of our first Sarah Adams book.
Oh, wow.
I think we read it. Was it the back to school readathon?
Possibly. We read it for something, but yeah, it was so cute.
Jessie, which one is your favorite out of the ones you've read?
I mean, I don't want to spoil the discussion, but it's this one. So
what? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love that.
Who is she?
I have read several Sarah Adams. I read the entire When in Rome series, and I read the rule book, which was like one she came out with a couple of years ago. And obviously this one. And my favorite that I've read by her has to be like in the When in Rome series. It's Practice Makes Perfect or When in Rome. I just think that like those books are really hard to top. And it's so funny to talk to people who do not like those books because it's like, why? What do you mean? Like how could you not love those books?
How could you not like a guy that gets his muscles from making pies? I'm sorry. Like I do not understand. Does not compute to me.
I'll never compute. I'll never compute.
Right.
Let's see. Let us know, was that your first Sarah Adams? I see that a lot of people, that was their first one, which was really exciting. One is a seeing eye dog and the other is a medical service dog. Maybe.
Oh.
My first. Yay. First. Wendy's read quite a bit. All of the When in Rome, Off Limits Rule, Cheat Sheet, Rule Book, and now Match. Nice. I still have not read the Cheat Sheet. I haven't heard super great things about that one, but
Well, I do have the other 2 books in the When in Rome, so Practice Makes Perfect and Beg, Borrow, or Steal. Have you read that one, Hannah?
Yes.
And that wasn't your favorite. That makes me a little nervous because the
Well,
teacher thing.
I still loved it. I really
Okay.
do. And I will get to this in just like when we start talking
Okay.
general thoughts, but I just think that her new stuff cannot be topped. But
Yeah.
as far as
But,
like the
like, I do have the second book for this one, and then
yeah.
I do have the second book, The Off Limits Rule. There's another book to that one as well, so
Mhm.
I have that book as well.
Yeah, I just think that she is trying really hard in her new stuff to be something she's not. And it's like painfully obvious. To me it is because I've read so many of hers.
Interesting, because I'm actually currently reading Beg, Borrow, and Steal.
Are you really?
Yeah.
And not
Well,
to like
because she's
spoil that book.
yeah, but
But
she seems like she was, like, a clean romance author and very, like, wholesome and very and it seems like she's trying to, like, add in the spice to, like,
yeah.
appeal to, like, a different audience,
Oh,
which, like, I get it. I
Right,
do.
yeah,
I get
totally.
it. But at the same time, like, there's always gonna be an audience for your thing. You just have to get in your lane, stay in your lane, and your audience will find you. But
And a lot of people picked up her books because of that. And I don't mind that if it's done well. But if I'm picking up a Sarah Adams, it just feels out of place to me. Like it just feels thrown in
I
there.
get that.
So that's why I didn't love that one as much, but it was still so good. So don't let that deter you.
yeah, that makes sense.
I'm still going to read it.
Yes, absolutely. It was still so good. Tina, I am eager to see what you thought about Practice Makes Perfect. First, Sarah Adams, cheat sheet, Practice Makes Perfect, When in Rome, and the match. Oh my gosh. Love Sarah Adams, read almost all of them. Nice. Off Limits Rule is the one that I really need to get to. When in Rome, Practice Makes Perfect, cheat sheet, rule book. To Con a Gentleman. What is that? I think she wrote maybe
I think
contemporary
she
stuff.
wrote some Regency, like
Yeah.
Regency type, like Bridgerton vibes.
I wonder if they're any good. Yvette, let us know.
I don't know. I'm about to find out.
Gave it a 4.5. Like 2 things kept me. Okay. Red cheat sheet. I agree. I completely agree. Look at us agreeing. I love that. Favorite is When in Rome. Form your own opinion. Listen to Gwen's advice, and I'll read the cheat sheet. Didn't love it, but I think I'll reread the cheat sheet. I think I was triggered. Oh Lord. It just felt really out of place. Yeah. All right. Let's do another general question and let's talk general thoughts. So, without giving us your star rating or anything, let us know what you generally thought about the book. So, like if you really loved it, if it was one of your favorites of all time, let us know that, which we kind of talked about that a little bit. And you can kind of talk about initial thoughts because I'm going to touch on my initial thoughts going into it and what I felt about halfway through. So, if you want to just talk general feelings about the book.
Do you want to go first this time, Jessie?
I would love to. Okay, cool. Okay, I was really excited because this is what is it called? Not When in Charleston. It Happened in Charleston series. Yeah. Is that the name of it? And I love Charleston, South Carolina. I went there right before I went on my cruise on my honeymoon, and I just loved the town, the food, the people. Like it was a great city. I will say I didn't really feel the same vibes besides like Southern accents. But yeah, I'm still going to continue in the series. As far as like initial thoughts, like reading like the scene where they're meeting for the first time under like they give off the bad first impressions, but like reading about a single dad, I'm like, I know it's only been like 4 chapters, but I need to read more single dad romances because I would say this is my first. But yeah, I really, really liked it. I liked the characters, the writing style. So yeah, my first thoughts were great.
Yay! I think Betsy also said that this book inspired her love for single dad romance.
Yeah.
I love that.
My initial thoughts were that I don't really know that much about, I mean, I know general thoughts about service dogs and epilepsy, but I don't really know a lot about it. So it felt a little bit educational, like in a good way, not like in an info dumpy, I'm reading a manual way, but I loved that it had that representation in there. So the combo was kind of educational, and I really enjoyed the banter and quick wit of Evie, and I hated her parents. Those were my initial thoughts.
Yes, we will talk about her parents.
I also want to add, because I completely skipped over the whole service dog thing. I love dogs in general, but the fact that it was a service dog, I was like, ooh, I'm so excited to read this.
Mm-hmm. And did it deliver, like, the service dog aspect?
Yes, I want Daisy and Charlie to be my dogs.
I know, right?
So
my initial thoughts, which is kind of why I put this question in here, but my initial thoughts, and this is, I would be curious to see how the rest of you feel who have read other books by Sarah Adams. I immediately felt that this was one of her first books. Like, I immediately knew that this was one of her earlier releases, just because I feel like, and I feel like all authors do this, but I think Sarah Adams is definitely one of them that just grows with each book. And I do think
you can tell between this book and this one, like the indie published and this, even the sentence structure changed in this one. Like it enhanced the writing, or it flowed more naturally, like the sentence structure did. So yeah, I'm glad that it at least got that boost,
Yeah, and that was, like, one of the aspects that I immediately saw, is that the banter wasn't really flushed out. Like, it was still there, but it almost felt, like, kind of choppy and not necessarily fluid. And again, I love that, this was a first for some of you, because I just think it gets better from here. I really, really do. And if you ask other people, I'm sure they will have different opinions, but I really do think that she just gets better with each book, especially, like, her latest stuff. So that was my initial thoughts. To Con a Gentleman was my least favorite of hers. So I'm sure it's the same kind of scenario where, like, her older stuff is just doesn't hit as good as these. Not bad, not good. Oh my goodness, Yvette, I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. Really enjoyed it. I'll pick up more by her general feelings. Gilmore Girls vibes. Yes, I kind of got that too. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Loved most of the characters except for Evie's mom. Loved the relationship between Evie and Sam, as well as Evie and Joe. I listened to it on audio, and I think it made it even better. I agree. I didn't. That was another thing. I didn't love this audiobook. It took a while for me to love this audiobook, because I think she changes narrators with her books, and I don't know that for sure. Like, don't write that down. I didn't look that up. But this girl just wasn't as good, in my opinion, as the other narrators have been. Definitely got Gilmore Girls vibes. Oh, I love that Robin. Loved the single dad. Representation into the service dog world. As a former puppy raiser, it made my heart so happy. Yes. 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 She was definitely Emily Gilmore. Oh, yay. That's awesome, Tina. Thought it was so cute. Love the disability rep. I agree. Could have used more Charleston details. I feel like I learned a lot about the topic. Yeah, we will talk about representation on the next question. Banter was awesome. Felt like it was an easy read that kept my interest. Nice. Oh, one whole day. Yes, I agree. I do think that her rom-coms are just, they're something special. Yeah, I think it was kind of, I don't know, it just felt kind of surface level to me, and I just don't get that with her newer stuff. Agreed, you do. Oh, that's intriguing. A Catherine Sinner book? Have you read a lot by
I
Catherine
have.
Sinner?
I love Catherine Center. I don't know that I would put them in the same category, but Catherine Center does write like mainly clean romances as well.
I read The Bodyguard, which I really loved.
It's funny because I did not love that one. Like I didn't dislike it.
Mhm.
I haven't disliked any of Catherine Center's books, but that was like one of my least favorite ones from her.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, I loved the rom-commers, which funny enough was one of our other options for
Mhm.
Comfy Cozy. And I read that and loved that. But yeah, I've read quite a few, like quite a few. And I tend to like her backlist ones more. Why that is,
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, The Bodyguard I gave 3 stars. Hello Stranger I gave 3 stars. But Things You Save in a Fire, the rom-commers, I gave 5 stars. How to Walk Away I gave 4 stars. So yeah.
Nice. Well, I may have to go into her backlist then,
Yeah.
especially if you liked them better. But I felt like the romance was more lustful longing and just not done well as some of her others. Okay, I kind of get that too, but that's kind of how I felt with Beg, Borrow, or Steal. The exact opposite, because I didn't get that one with this, but I did get that one. I did get that feeling with Beg, Borrow, or Steal. Enjoyed it. Wendy also did not like The Bodyguard.
Me and Wendy agreeing.
All right. So we are going to go into spoiler territory now. We're going to talk like major things that happen in the book, major themes. So if you have not finished the book or have not read it at all, we are so glad that you've been here, but lovingly see your way out. All right, let's go ahead and do the third question, and that is, how do you think she handled the representation part? And I'm curious to know, especially those of you who are more aware or more educated about the topic of epilepsy, or if you deal with someone or if you deal with it yourself, how do you think that this representation was handled? So, whoever wants to do that.
I will say, like you said, obviously, like I'm an able-bodied person and, I don't have epilepsy. I haven't had any, I mean, I've seen service dogs like out and about, but I've never like dealt with it, had to have one myself or anybody in my family. So this is coming from that perspective. But I really liked that it portrayed it the way it did as something that Evie could manage and overcome with the support of her service dog. And then like, because of her experience, she was able to provide like support and understanding for Sam, since she was like kind of like new to it and trying to get a service dog for the first time. And then I just think like together their experiences showed that people with disabilities can live like independent lives, and they can overcome obstacles, just like everybody has different obstacles in their lives. Maybe theirs are different, but they can overcome things and lead fulfilling lives. So it was a very positive spin on the representation for me personally. But like I said, able-bodied person, I don't know.
Yeah. Same. Like I'm still newer to the topic. My youngest niece actually was recently diagnosed with epilepsy, so I haven't personally seen anything. But like I kind of know like what to do if I'm around her and things like that. My older sister, who is my niece's mother, I believe she got a service dog, but I don't think, like reading this and kind of knowing exactly like what Evie does, like as far as like training and like like even the volunteers like helping to like train the dogs before they're ready. I don't think she actually has a service dog, but I could be correct.
Yeah, I think there's like some people get confused between like a what's it called? Like a companion animal or like
emotional support.
yeah, emotional support, and then like the dogs that actually go through like years of training sometimes.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. For one, like, I mean, I'm not saying like any dog could be a service animal. I'm not like dissing on other breeds, but like I have a very small niece and she got like a Great Dane. Also, this Great Dane has like ran off several times. So I don't think, yeah, like I don't know. But I mean, I'm glad I got to kind of learn a little bit more about like what could be a thing for my younger niece. So it kind of makes me want to like have that serious conversation with my sister. So I'm like,
the fact that there's even people out there that actively match people with their animals.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. And like even when like Sam or Samantha was trying to like get to know the dogs, like the first one she met like was not a perfect match, and she was worried like, you know, maybe there's not a dog for me. And luckily Daisy, I think it was the second dog, and they were like a perfect match. So so yeah, I did learn a whole lot about like it's not just like, oh, I'm just gonna go down to the store and get a service animal. You know?
I think I've read a book about a seeing eye dog before, but never a service dog before.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they're both service dogs, but like one's medical, one's
yeah. And also like she kind of like pointed out like bystanders. They're like, oh, you can tell they really want to pet the dog. That's me. But like I don't, because I know they're working.
I know. I want to pet every dog.
Yeah. I mean, any animal in the wild, I'm like, can I pet that dog?
Well, I'm glad they wear those like little badge things, because I mean, just thinking about kids, like kids don't care whatsoever of any kind of dog, and they would just go forward with petting them. So
yeah. And even she was like, oh yeah, like if someone accidentally pets the dog, I always feel bad because I'm like, you know, they're working, don't distract them. So
it's same thing with like the canine, like the police dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like working dogs in general, they're working. You shouldn't disturb them.
But it also shows me like how smart they are. They're such smart animals.
So. We do not deserve dogs, to be honest.
I know, we don't.
I also agree with everything that both of you said. I'm not super educated about the topic either. I have had like very minimal training when it comes to seizures and epilepsy, but I've never had a student with it, never had a family member with it, so I don't know it firsthand. But I do agree with what Gwen was saying about how it was shed in a positive light, because I feel like some authors use disability rep as like a ploy just to kind of say that they threw it in there. And I feel like that besides the romance, that's really what this book was trying to say, that you can have a very real disability and still lead a very healthy, beautiful life. So I really liked the light that was shed on it.
I also like that it wasn't just the service dog thing. Like there was a whole business about service dogs.
Yes.
There was that gala or whatever, the fundraising thing for the business and stuff like that. So it was also in there more than just like the characters have these service dogs, which I also liked.
Which I'd be kind of curious to see like what kind of research she did to kind of know.
It was in the author's note, I believe. Hang on.
I
didn't read the whole thing, so hang on. Let's see. She wants to thank Leslie Adams, who is her mother-in-law, for letting me ask a million questions about training service dogs and never once telling me to stop bugging you. Thanks for encouraging me to write the story and help me make it accurate. Also, thank you. This includes Dave for being awesome in-laws and loving us as well. So I guess her mother-in-law has some sort of background in that.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So she probably has. About training service dogs in particular.
She also said, thank you to my husband for the true inspiration of six-pack abs.
Oh my gosh.
I just saw that at the end.
I'm sorry. My dogs would like to be the center of attention. You guys are talking about other dogs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'd pet you.
Oh my gosh. What is your deal, my dude? Good to know. Wasn't planning to pick up her newest anyway. Yeah, I think you should probably stay clear of it if you're worried about those things. Not educated about this topic, so I don't think I could answer very well, but I felt it was well done. Well said, Gwen. Think she did a good job without info dumping. I agree. It didn't read like a textbook or anything. I'm one of the emergency people for my friend at work when she has a seizure. Seen it many times, as well as been through training as a teacher. Yes, I feel like that is a requirement for teachers. But again, until you have physically dealt with it, it's really hard to.
Yeah, and I don't think the training is sufficient enough, if I'm being honest.
It's really not.
It's
really
like a little section.
you
So,
learn
like,
more from their parents and
Mhm.
like how to handle a situation. Than
yeah, and like you, I've never had a student in my class that had it, but I did substitute in a class that had a girl that would have seizures and stuff. And she didn't, obviously, when I was in there, thank goodness, because I'd have been freaking out. But yeah.
Goodbye, Robin. I like that it didn't just seem like epilepsy was not a big deal just because you have a service animal. It still showed the struggles, but how they conquer them and live a fulfilling life. Agreed. Yes. Yeah, I agree. I felt like it was really passionate, and I loved that. I know more about the service dog side of things, and with that, I thought it was wonderful. I know more about seeing eye dogs versus medical awareness dogs, but it felt accurate to what I've learned. Oh, good. Okay, so Sam knows. With matching at leader dog for the blind, the clients stay for a week on campus and they see which fits best. Then they learn to walk and work with their dog, like in this book. That is awesome. I love that. I love that she stayed true to that too. Chronic condition related to Evie's fears about people seeing her when she has an attack. It was so sweet how Jake took care of her. Oh, I love that, Kate. Don't really know how I feel about how she handled representation, but just love that she included it. I agree, Stacy. There was also a line I highlighted. Sometimes people need to talk and be heard, not fixed. I also highlighted that. I loved that part. Hi, Andrea. Okay. Thank you. Also love that she showed that Evie lives an independent life and a full life while her parents just sat here as someone saw her as someone that just needed to be taken care of. And that's kind of what I was saying, that I hate when authors take disability and like make it this negative thing where people can't have their own lives. No background, but I felt like the topics were handled well. I agree with you, Hannah, that it was a key part of the story, not just added for the sake of it. Agreed. Oh, that is so sweet. Oh my goodness. All right. The next question is a little bit of a juicy question. Well, who was your favorite character and who was your least favorite character? And I put most of the main characters down on the screen if you need a refresh. But I'll start this one since I keep throwing the ball at you two. My favorite character was Sam. And I could see a lot of myself in my younger days as Sam, just like being nervous to go to my first sleepover and just like where I don't know what it's like to have a single dad. Like I could also just feel everything that Sam felt. And I just loved Sam. My least favorite, I had quite a few. I did not like her mom. And I also did not like Jake's ex. I don't even remember her name, which I probably should, but I do not even remember her name.
Natalie.
Yeah, she was a piece of work. So those are my two. Jessie, who was your favorite and least favorite?
Okay, I really liked Evie just because she is so strong and independent, and like the way she would like say things to her mom, because obviously her mom's terrible. But I also liked Joanna, which is, I guess, like her boss at the service center, but also like feels that mother figure in Evie's life. So I really liked their dynamic. So if I read the second book in the series, I hope Joanna makes another appearance. Least favorite, definitely the mom. Like if she didn't stop, she was going to catch these hands, and I just was not about that life. So
pretty terrible.
Yeah. Also, her ex,
Tyler.
But I mean, I kind of expected him to be the way he is. So
yeah. Anytime there's mention of an ex, you could just not guarantee it.
They're an ex for a reason.
Yeah.
Well, my favorites were basically all of the good characters, and my least favorites were all of the bad characters. I loved Evie,
Shocking.
and I also loved Joanna. I loved her, how exactly like, sorry, my mic is messing up, but just like Jessie said, the how she filled that motherly role, was a mentor and kind of a friend and stuff like that. I also loved Jake, and I also loved Sam for all the reasons that you said, and just I loved the single dad thing, and then I hated not just the mom. I hated the parents.
Yeah.
Not just the mom, both of them, because I'm sorry, but like if I'm stepping out of line and saying something and my husband doesn't put me on the right path, like he's just as much to blame.
Condoning it.
So yeah. So like I didn't like the parents, and I hated Tyler, obviously. And then obviously Jake's ex, Natalie. So
I love how there was good guys and there was bad guys.
Yeah, there were good and bad, and I liked the good and I didn't like the bad. But I also wanted to say about Evie, kind of what you were saying, Jessie, that she kind of stood up to her mom and she was like, you guys don't want to share your money with me? Fine, don't share your money with me. I'm going to live on my own. I'm going to do this. Like, even if you don't like it, I'm still going to do it. You want me to be with Tyler? He's a jerk. I'm not going to be with him. I don't care. So I really liked that not only was she like a strong character, that's what also kind of leads back to the representation, is because we had such a great person that also had this disability. And so it just made her like more dynamic, and even if she didn't have epilepsy, like maybe she was only training the service dog, she still would have been like a kick butt character. You know what I'm saying? But then it just added on like another layer as well. So yeah.
I also forgot about Tyler, about like what a sleazeball he was.
Total sleazeball.
Ew.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about the scene where he doesn't he push her against the wall and
I think he tries.
Hit her.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, Jake's gonna come in and kick his butt, and nope, she just does it herself.
Right. I did the whole dinner.
Don't need no man.
The dinner where he was invited to the dinner. Ew. Disgusting.
And the fact that he was just like, are you done playing games and you just want to get engaged and get married right in front of her date?
Who are you, sir?
How many times does she have to say no? No means no. Who doesn't know that by now?
He actually acted like he was 18.
Yeah.
Literally teenage boy.
If someone is okay, I don't understand. If someone is constantly telling me no, do you want to be together? No. Do you want to be together? No. I'm going to kind of get a clue. They don't want to be with me. You know what I'm saying? He was not catching on.
Yeah.
So,
but also finding out that he made fun of Evie while they were in high school. That's so awful. You were. But dating.
Also, she didn't tell her parents that. That also kind of frustrated me. Why didn't she just be like, "Mom, I don't like Tyler because he's a jerk. He's one of the people that made fun of me." And not that maybe she still wouldn't have understand. Maybe the mom would have still been horrible. But if she could have opened up to her mom in that way and said, so stop pushing this guy on me. He's a jerk.
It probably would have done zero good because her was just. I feel like they were both narcissists, where they were like, my way or the highway.
Yeah.
So.
And she chose the highway, which took her to Jake.
I needed that scene where she stood up to both of them. I needed that scene. Evie. Oh, I agree. For sure. Sam. She was so wise beyond her years, and yet also a kid that just wanted to be liked by her friends. Favorite Sam? Mom. Yay! Loved Evie, Jake, Sam, and Joe for all different reasons. Loved all of them, but I love how sweet and caring Evie was towards Sam. I agree. That whole mom complex was there the entire time. I loved that. I loved that so much. Tyler and Natalie. Joe is my favorite. Loved them all, disliked Natalie and Tyler. I love how we're all on the same page here.
Yeah.
Least favorite, yes, I think we all can agree on the mom. Favorite Joanna, least favorite her mom and Tyler. Tyler and Natalie were awful. Yes, they were. Yeah. It was almost like he still thought they were in a relationship. Like, what are you just playing? You playing me for? Mm-hmm. I'm biased to the name, but I loved her from the start. Also appreciated Evie's strength in doing what she knew was best for her. Least favorite was Evie's mom. Mom was the worst. Hello. Don't always like kids in books, but Sam was a great character. I agree. I think she was the kid of all kids. Yeah. Condoning is just as bad. Forgot about Jake's ex. I didn't. I hated that woman. Her mom was for sure the worst. Right? Who are you threatening to take my cell phone away that I pay for? Like she has a medical condition and you take away her form of help. 100%. I don't think she cared about her medical condition at all.
It's almost like she didn't believe that she had epilepsy.
Yeah.
Like, she's your daughter, like, not concerned about the service dog, not proud of her for what she was doing, like,
yeah,
very snooty, very
It's also like, are you done with your little pretend job? And I'm like,
yes.
The job that she has.
And I've
to help
literally been
others
in a relationship like that before, so no thank you.
Oh, yeah. That is the worst. Allie, hello. No is a complete sentence. Full stop. Agreed. Tyler was such a jerk, and she should have taken the restraining order out long before this. I agree, because this seemed like it had been going on for a while. Tyler and Jake's ex should have ended up together. She would like being a society wife.
She probably would have gotten in the movies with his money.
Yeah, she probably should have. Taken advantage of that. Understand Jake the best because I've been a single parent with a similar ex, and my heart just went out to both Jake and Sam dealing with the abandonment. Oh, I love that, Lisa.
Isn't it funny, though, how Jake never badmouthed Natalie, though? Because it was still the mom of Sam.
Mm-hmm.
And he never really said anything, even though she was kind of horrible. Like, he never said anything bad about her.
Yeah. He was very mature.
Yeah.
When he would mention, like, I didn't know she had this dream to go off and be an actress, but he never once said one bad thing about her. It's just like, obviously when she showed up. Yeah.
So that just makes Jake like rise to the top, you know?
He was the adult in the conversation.
Exactly. Right. And that's why he was a single dad with custody of Sam, because.
Oh, yes. My next question is just a fun little question, okay? Because Evie, at some point when they first met, was asking Jake this question. And I knew I had to ask it in the discussion. What is your favorite color Skittle? And I'm just here to tell you right now, if any of you say yellow, I'm kicking you out immediately because that is psychopath. No, Gwen, psychopath. No. That is serial killer behavior.
Okay, I'm not going to say yellow. It's red.
There's only one right answer.
I know, it's red.
Jessie, don't you dare tell us.
I'm going to say Jessie's going to say purple, though, because it's her favorite color.
I actually don't like Skittles.
Oh. Okay, that counts. She's booted.
If you had to pick a color, though, Which one do you think would be your best? Your favorite?
Just for the sake of it, I'm going to go with yellow.
Ah!
I would say the lime one, but they changed it to green apple. So,
Oh,
and I
did
don't like
they?
green apple.
I like green apple.
Ugh, no, but I don't like Skittles. So I'm
But I like
not.
the red one. The red one is like strawberry.
I would also like to point out that Jake also did not like Skittles. So,
Oh yeah, he didn't. What was
Yeah.
Evie's favorite? Did she
I
say?
think it was red.
Yeah, that is the only right answer.
Yes.
Is red. Red. Okay, you guys can stay. Purple, green. Okay. I kind of get purple.
I'm not a green or a yellow. The oranges are pretty good though.
Yeah, I don't mind the orange.
So
Except for
is
the
red really your flavor, Gwen? Or
No, red is really my favorite. I wrote it down,
Okay.
red. And
Okay.
I like the red gummy bears the best too. And sometimes we'll get the little packages of gummy bears, and my husband will find one with all red gummy bears in it, and he'll bring it to me because he knows it's my favorite.
I love that so much. I do like the yellow gummy bear, but not the yellow Skittle. Red and green, but only the green apple, not the lime. I love how you clarified that. Purple from the berry flavor pack. Love the clarification. Green, Annie, ma'am. I do like yellow. Oh my gosh. He did like brownies.
I like brownies.
I do too.
I love brownies. Daniel likes brownies too.
Red Starburst, the best, and pink. Like the fact that they came out with red and pink in a bag now is just genius. I agree. Yellow's my favorite color, but yellow flavored things.
I also don't like Starburst.
Do you not like fruit flavored candy?
I don't like taffy, so that's why I don't like Starburst. Like,
okay.
like
Because it's
that
got like
hard
that
stuff.
chewy.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then Skittles
stuck in your
Some have
Skittles
it
just
too.
taste like Red Bull, but candy form.
What?
Yeah.
Red Bull tastes like dirt. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they taste like dirt. Now the next comment from Yvette is elite the best answer. And I've got a whole bag right here.
I love how you were prepared.
Mhm.
I agree. Nerd clusters are superior. Nerd clusters are so good. Okay, I just wanted to throw that little fun question.
I love that question.
Because I saw it, I was like, that is adorable. And that's Sarah Adams banter. Okay, here's a deep question for you to think about. So Sam was really nervous about what other girls would think of her at a sleepover that she was going to. Have you ever been mistreated for something that was beyond your control? Or have you ever been mistreated for something that has to do with you? Like something that is a part of you? So whoever wants to share their
I'll go first because my answer is no. I haven't really. I was trying to think back of like maybe in high school or, like middle school or even elementary school or like even as an adult, like at a job or something like that. And I am lucky that I can say no to this question. Or if it did happen, that I was able to black it out in my memory that it never happened. So
I love it.
I wouldn't say like anything as like big, like from Evie or Sam. But I was actually like a late bloomer growing up. So like, like going through middle school,
Mm-hmm.
Middle
school is brutal.
Yeah, middle school is brutal. But just like feeling like, everyone's glowing up or, developing and stuff like that. So like it was just me. I was just like, oh, when is it going to be me? It took one summer and it was me. So but yeah, just feeling left out because like people were, growing up faster than me and like so.
Mm-hmm. So did anyone ever bring that up to you in a negative way?
I mean, the boys would call, TMI, but like, being a little flat chested, middle schooler, boys would be mean, girls would be mean.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's so sad. Kids are so mean.
Yeah, and now I'm just like, gosh, I hate the fact that, like, ugh.
Take
Like,
them
why,
away.
like, why did I want these
Right?
things? So
Life was so much simpler back
I
then.
know.
Mine is just not necessarily appearance wise, but my entire life, and knowing me now, you would never know, but my entire life, like from elementary school until like beginning of college, I was always the person that just kind of like sat in the back and observed and didn't really like I wasn't the loudest person in the room. And like I have really never been that. And I've always been like more quiet and just never really like if you ask a question, I'm probably going to let somebody else answer it. And so like growing up, people used to think that I was just an alien because I wasn't the loudest person in the room. And, like, people would be so mean to me in the fact that I was just more quiet than them. And looking back now, like, the quieter kids really they just have a lot to say. They really do, because they're not the ones that are immediately, like, jumping in your face and like, "Oh, I've got the answer," or "I know this," or "I know that." And, looking back now, I am thankful that I was like that, but it was kids were just so mean, and, like, I remember distinctly one of my professors when I started college, like, literally told me that I wouldn't be a good teacher because I was so quiet and because I was so, like, reserved,
Reserved, yeah.
and he was like, I don't think that you should teach because of that." And, like, looking back, I was like, "Dude, you literally you tried to deter me from my career because of a personality."
So he should not be teaching.
I don't think he is anymore.
Oh, well, good.
But yeah, that was like that was in my control, I guess, but that was just like a personality thing
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
um that I had.
I'm also one of those people, like, if you, like, in your situation, like, if you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to be like, I'll sit back and watch.
Right? Right. Oh, but let us know, everybody. You don't have to go into details, obviously. Don't make yourself uncomfortable, but let us know if you've ever been kind of mistreated for something beyond your control. And Sam, I'm so sorry. This is why I go to therapy, and therapy is very, very good. What does this mean?
This was back about the Red Bull. It gives you
Oh,
wings.
yes, nobody may know this. I have only 4 fingers on my right hand. Wendy, I didn't know that. When I was born, my
I
thumb
mean,
was
I didn't know that either.
wow, fun fact about Wendy. Wendy,
Why
like,
do I suddenly want to see your hands
I
now?
that's
know,
so
me
cool to
too. But
me.
like, are you self-conscious about it, I wonder?
Yeah, we don't, like, wanna
'Cause
make you uncomfortable, but that's
oh,
really
Jessie, because
fascinating.
like you're red green colorblind. Did people know that? Did they make fun of you because of that?
Yeah, but
Mm.
they would be dumb. They'd be like, "What color is this?" I'm like, "That's orange." Oh, okay, so you can see orange. Okay.
Oh my god.
What color are these eye masks? Like, I can see that. I just can't see red or green. So I also feel like if there is something that people can make fun of me, and I'm not sensitive about it, I'm just like, yeah, that's why my Christmas tree looks dead every year. So I just kind of go with it.
Oh, no, I lost my place.
We were talking about the thumb.
Oh, yes, okay. Wendy, if you don't like, if you're okay with people seeing it, then, I mean, I would love to see your hand,
I
but
would too.
like, put us all in a group chat and show us your hand. But again, we don't wanna make you uncomfortable. I think that's cool. Jeannie's here, and she finished the book, or a book. Sorry. It was picked on for having red hair a lot, mostly guys.
Oh, I
That's all.
love red hair.
Red hair
I
is
do
so
too, but I feel like that's like a thing. that a lot of red hair, like gingers and,
I think it's
you
just
know,
because it's different.
yeah, but I loved red hair. My
Mhm.
best friend had red hair, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kids can be so mean. So mean. And I know that firsthand. I'm so sorry, Jeannie.
Kids are still mean.
They're a different breed. A different breed. Found out a few weeks ago what my peers say is weird about me. As a kid, I was made fun of for ADHD. Yay for the late in life diagnosis. And I think we are on the ball with that more so now, with those first signs. So I'm so sorry that you were not one of the first ones to get that diagnosis. Bullied when I was little, not anything in particular, just a mean girl who thought I was beneath her. Unfortunately, there are people out there like that. Birds of a feather. Painfully shy and introverted, and was always told that there was something wrong with me because of it, even by teachers. Yeah, quite a few teachers told me, and told my mom, too. Yay, mom always stood up for you. That's awesome. You have an eating disorder that is not well known when it comes to eating around other people. They always ask tons of questions, but I do understand the curiosity. And people mean well, they really do, but I think as a society, we're just so engrossed by other people and what other people have in their lives, and we try and like incorporate ourselves into that. So
yeah, especially like if it's a friend or something, you just kind of like want to know more, but also
yeah,
sometimes just stay in your lane. Like that's
Yes.
their thing. Like
yes. If they want to talk about it, especially if they're close, they will.
exactly.
So wait on them. Made fun of for being fat and talking too much. I would try and talk less, and then people would ask me, "Are you okay? You're quiet today." Isn't that ironic? I'm so sorry of it. Kind of shy in middle school, and some girls would think I was stuck up or snob. Yeah. Also had a bully in 5th grade. She was really horrible, and I had no idea why. Awful. Had a boss tell me that I would never be successful in any career because I was quiet, which is literally the worst lie. The worst lie. Look back at photos that I thought I was fat and go, why? Yeah. I'm gonna go back to all of Wendy's videos now.
She actually sent a photo to the three of us as well.
Oh my gosh.
It's interesting.
Really? That is literally so cool. I'm sorry. Like, Wendy, I actually love that. I was picked on for being short and looking young. I was always the smallest kid in the class. Never really bothered me about my red because I like it. Yes, girl. Group hug, everyone. Was getting her braces removed, and she was worried her teeth would feel big. Another friend said they will never be as big as Sam's. Oh,
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
what is up with this toxic behavior?
There's so many toxic people in our lives. So nervous about kids being mean to my kids at school. I think if you talk to your kids about how to handle that and just know,
Prepare
just
them.
tell them that there are other kids out there that do not know, because truly they've not been taught. And just making sure your kids are aware of that and how to handle those situations, I think it'll be okay. Just as long as they know how and they're prepared for that. Big group hug. Yes, 100%. If you've ever been to one of my discussions, we usually get pretty deep.
I like it.
All right, we're going to do like one more specific question. Practice Girls Day. And what do you think this says about our two main characters? So Practice Girls Day was when Evie gave Jake a crash course on how to be a single dad. Should this be a thing?
I loved this so much. It was one of my favorite scenes. I
Mhm.
think it was Evie kind of stepping in, knowing that, like, okay, Sam doesn't have this mother figure in her life. She didn't feel like she had a mother figure in her life. So she's like, at that point, she's not thinking that she could step in and be that, but she's like, let me show Jake what girlhood is and how to
Mhm.
like incorporate, like, how he can, incorporate that to make Sam feel like it's okay being a girl. Let's do girly
Mhm.
things. That's fine. Yeah, I just loved it so much.
I know.
Yeah, I loved it too because like I felt like, especially with Sam, I think she was 10 years old. Like that's such like a very like he's getting ready to enter a whole new side of territory when it comes to girlhood. So like I think like it just made them kind of connect a little bit better, but also like it helped Jake kind of know like what he should know going in the future, but it also like I think it just made their connection stronger as well. So I really loved it. Like it was just so cute. He painted his fingernails. He did her hair.
Yes.
I
I
loved
thought
it.
it also added like almost a humorous element to it because I feel like
Mhm.
it was very serious with all the service dog and all the seizure talk.
Mhm.
But like it was just so fun to just see this scene of her giving him a crash course.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
feel like obviously single dads are very capable human beings, but I also think that there's something to be said about a single dad wanting to know what it's like to be a girl. Like, what can I
Mhm.
do to help you embrace
Yeah. Like
girlhood?
he wanted to be able to fill the void that Natalie had left.
Yes.
Mhm.
He wanted to be able to do that. And the fact that he didn't even know, like, he was like, what is this girls' day? And he was like, okay, let's do it. I need to know. Like, just that he was so down for it. I just loved it so much. It shows like how, good of a dad he is, wanting to fill that void. And, I loved it
And
so
that he
much.
wanted to play both roles in
Yeah.
Sam's life, be the mom and the dad as well. But also, can we like give him a round of applause for having a whole cabinet stocked with feminine hygiene products?
Exactly.
Like men
Hello.
would
And he's like,
never.
take whatever you want. I was
And
like,
she's like, I'm taking a whole
yes.
box.
I loved that. Because
That
he was
should
like,
show
you're my
you
sisters.
Yeah.
Yes. That should show you right there that he was already a girl dad. Like, he was
Yeah.
just it didn't matter what he didn't know, like, he was
Mhm.
willing to put
Yeah.
forth the effort, and I do think that went a long way.
Yeah.
But I loved that scene so much. Loved Practice Girl Day. This was one of my favorite scenes. I agree. It was so cute. Yeah, I agree. I think it was probably my favorite scene besides the epilogue. Love that Jake was so open and just did it. Yeah, I think that says a lot because I know, like, not all single dads, but some single dads are like, no, she will live by what I do or how I
Mhm.
see that she should live or whatever. But
Or they think it says something about them to do that.
yeah,
They're like, I can't put on fingernail polisher.
yep.
And he's over here like, can I get glitter? And she's like, you're not ready for glitter.
You know, yes, yes, yes. Evie's willingness to help Jake, yes, and Jake being willing to listen. There's something to be said about that. Is the fact that this man was like, teach me everything I don't know. And there is something to be said about a individual, I mean, man or woman, that is willing to sit down and listen to someone who knows more than them.
Preach it.
The fact that Jake was so open to being a supportive girl dad and not freaked out by girl things. The tampon drawer. She was a natural mom. I loved how much she cared about Sam and Jake's relationship. Yeah, she really nurtured that. And
I think when something strikes you, like if you're missing something from your childhood or something like that, like she didn't really have that mother figure growing up. So she probably knew, do the opposite of that. And I'm doing so much better.
I think she wanted to be that female role in Sam's life that she wished she had growing up.
Oh, 100%.
Exactly.
100%. I love that she saw the need and was like, this is what we're going to do. Yep. I love dads who will do anything to make their kids feel happy and seen. Agreed. Tampon pad cabinets.
Not a drawer. Full cabinet.
Filled my heart. It was so perfect. Also, the fact that he had every type of vitamin and hygiene product made me so happy. Like, it wasn't just one great value brand, like Dollar Tree brand.
He
Like,
knew all the different sizes. He was it down.
probably had them organized because, he kept his house clean.
Yes. Yes. Can we also mention that Jake was just the perfect man for also having the closet of products? Like, he is not one of those men who have made something natural being gross or pretend it doesn't exist. That just might drop. Let's talk about that. What a man. I'm a stepmom and my youngest stepdaughter was 14. Jessie, I just realized that I'm covering you up. I am so sorry. Have I been covering up you this entire time?
I've just been playing the role
Just
of the neighbor from Home Improvement.
Straight creeping down there. I'm so sorry. I really need to work on the layout.
It's fine. I've just been reading, so.
Was 14 when I married my husband, and sometimes I had to remind him that he needed to be different with her versus the 3 boys. Yeah, 100%. Yes, agreed. Joanna was definitely that mother figure she needed. Get your cowboy pick out, Jessie. Do you have it?
I was looking for it, but I can't find it. I have it on my phone.
I'm so sorry. Literally, what a host. You're never going to come back.
She loves it. She likes the challenge.
All right. Last question. Let's talk about the ending. You could talk about the third act conflict. You could talk about the ex. You could talk about the epilogue. What are your feelings, thoughts towards the end?
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first, Jessie?
Oh, where do I begin? Okay.
There's so many.
I kind of discussed both, so.
Yeah. Okay, so so I was actually finishing this book on Gwen's sprints the other night, and it was this last sprint we did. I was like, man, this last sprint was kind of rough because I just hit that third act breakup, and I just was not having it. But I don't know. I felt like there was a little bit of a 180 with Jake. It was just I want to be by her no matter what. Her parents are awful, and it's just all of a sudden he was just like, I'm taking you home. I just can't have this. I'm just like, what? These are awful people.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to listen to awful people. So that was a little bit of a struggle for me, but obviously, it's a happy ever after. I was actually not a fan of the epilogue personally.
Really?
Yes. Honestly, you could have just not had that and that would have been perfectly fine. It was just too convenient that everything wrapped up in a pretty bow.
Okay. Valid.
Okay, I wrote down mine so I don't forget anything, but the third act conflict is basically 3 parts. You have Evie's mistrust of Jake's ex, and then of him because of his ex, and then his lack of faith in Evie because of her family.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it wasn't a great third act conflict because these are things that the characters knew about from the beginning of the book.
Yeah.
She knew that he had an ex and that she was in and out of the picture. She already knew that from the very beginning. And so for her to pop up at the house and answer the door and lie, why didn't she go, this doesn't seem like something Jake would do? Cool, lie to me, cool, fine. But call Jake, get in touch with Jake and be like, Jake, what's going on? I just went to your house. Natalie answered the door. She said this, what's going on? Give him a chance to explain for himself. And then I also think the same thing with the dinner at her house. She was warning him, I want you there, but I don't want you there because my parents are toxic and they're going to say things they don't mean. They're going to lie. They're going to put me down. They're going to put you down. They're going to, she warned him ahead of time. He knew from the beginning her parents weren't good. Then she's warning him again before they go to the dinner. And then he's mad when he shows up and her parents are horrible. What? I told you they were going to be terrible. Did you not believe me?
Mhm.
So,
He also witnessed a little bit before that event, like when her mom
right,
just showed up at her apartment.
right.
Like, so
And
it
so,
wasn't like a culture shock.
right. So I just feel like that their trust wasn't where it needed to be by that point. And then you can't flip around and then all of a sudden, okay, just kidding. Everything's great and fine. Like I don't feel like for a third act conflict like that it was resolved.
Oh, yeah.
Because this whole time they had been building up trust. And then all of a sudden they didn't trust each other. And then no, it's fine. Your parents are jerks. It's fine. Or like, no, like I need that kind of like wrapped up and you need to have an actual conversation about it a little bit more. And then we have the epilogue, the 2 years later. And basically in that one, shortly after Jake and Evie get married, her dad has a heart attack. And that experience changes them being her parents. And I'm not saying that an experience like that doesn't change people because my dad has had multiple strokes. He recently got diagnosed with cancer. And like, so I get that serious medical things can change people. But then I'm thinking, like, your daughter has epilepsy and it didn't change your view about that. But like, he has a heart attack. And now all of a sudden, like, no, the parents should have just been jerks start to finish, in my opinion, because like, it just, no, we're not magically 2 years later, dad has a heart attack. Now I'm changing my ways. No.
Mhm.
So it felt like the author was like, oh, I need to tie everything up in a pretty little bow. They're together. Now I need to fix the parents. I need to fix Tyler. I need to fix Natalie. I need to fix. No, you don't have to fix everything, because
Mhm.
that's not how life works, honey. So I also was not a fan of that. I mean, I'm glad that they were together, obviously. But I didn't like how the parents were magically, everything was great. We're hanging out with mom and dad now. They're the best. No. Mm-mm.
Yes. I am so glad that you two brought that up because I completely forgot about that part of the epilogue. Let me back up. The third act conflicts, I agree, Jessie, that the abrupt change in Jake, like, where did that come from? Like, why are we all of a sudden done with Evie? Like, he was literally not talking to her at all. And I was I was so confused by that because he was ride or die for her this entire time, and then all of a sudden, after this one dinner with 2 people that you know were terrible, you were just all of a sudden done.
Yeah, and it would have made sense if like maybe Evie acted different during that scene. There's like, oh, but like Evie stayed Evie the entire time.
Yes.
And
Yes.
she
And it's
warned
just
him.
she warned him, she left, she told all of them to shove it where the sun don't shine. Like, and it's just like,
And
oh,
she apologized to him afterwards, too.
yeah.
The fact that he was mad at her and not the situation, because, like, I've had
Yeah.
that before. Like, I've been mad at the situation and not the actual person. Like, we can be mad at a
Mhm.
circumstance and mad that it happened, but taking it out on someone else makes 0 sense. And
Especially because they were hurting her feelings, too,
right.
Yeah.
And they were lying about her. And she was hurt coming out of that, too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he just disregarded her feelings in that moment because he was
Mhm.
upset.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also, like, I can maybe understand if like she was not honest about her parents and like this other family and Tyler. Like maybe she never told him that they were engaged or supposed to be engaged or something. But like I feel like she was completely upfront about everything.
Yes.
There was nothing to be mad about towards Evie except just to be mad at the parents for being who they
I
were.
was expecting him to walk out of there and be like, whew, girl, you were right. Your parents suck.
Yeah. Yes.
That would have been
He's
so much better.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, yeah, maybe expect like, oh, these are gonna be terrible in-laws one day, but
Right? And I feel like it was almost just thrown in there, just to be thrown in there. And I hate to say that
Yeah.
about Sarah Adams, but I really just do think that she needed a third act conflict. So she was like, okay, let's go.
I knew when we didn't like the parents in the beginning, I was like, something's going to happen later on. And
Yeah.
I know that he's going to have to experience that. And of course, I was thinking that he was going to more like relate to her, like understand
Yeah.
like her being as close to Joe and like having her as a mentor and how important her work was to her and all of that. I thought it was going to be an understanding moment. I didn't know it was going to be part of the third act breakup.
Yeah. And also like with her parents, like oh, the heart attack like kind of changed their perspective of everything. Like I kind of wish like it kind of been like, you know, like we lived happily ever after and my relationship with my parents is still not great. Because I mean, that does happen in real life.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was just
Exactly.
like,
I think
oh,
that would have been better.
yeah, we got married, we had another kid. What else could I make right? You know, it's just
Exactly.
yeah.
I think I did really enjoy. I'm a sucker for books that end with an epilogue of them getting married. And there is a certain author that I will not say because that is kind of a spoiler. But Gwen and I both love this author, and she typically puts epilogues where they get married, and I eat it up every single time. And I love seeing that future part of themselves just because we rooted for these characters this long. But yeah, I completely see both of the reasons why. Let us know how you guys thought about the third act breakup, the miscommunication.
What did y'all think about when Natalie answered the door and she was immediately like, I can't believe he slept with her. I can't believe, like, come on now. Do you really think he did?
See, I'm too nosy. I would have been like, and who are you?
I'm the owner of this house.
Yeah. Be like, no, you ain't. Because my man is the owner of this house.
Didn't she come to the door like
yeah, like with
underwear?
no clothes
Yes,
on,
because she was
no
sleeping
pants.
on the couch or something, right?
Yeah.
Like
I would have been
Also,
asking
he
questions.
wasn't even at the house. That's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he has a garage, but did she not notice his truck was in there?
That's a good point.
You know,
I would literally be doing some investigation. I would go to the window or something.
Yeah. I mean, I could totally understand like
or why
jumping
didn't she
to
just
that
yell out
conclusion.
his name? Jake.
Yeah.
I don't know. The fact that she immediately believed this stranger that she's never met before. Oh, Jake's cheating on me. I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Also,
I knew
she was in Sam's room, and you mean to tell me there's no photos of Sam's mother anywhere?
Yes. You're exactly right.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just glad that we're on the same page with that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, that was literally as soon as that part came, I was like, I should have seen this coming, but
yeah. Honestly, I really wish Natalie would have never showed up. I feel like she didn't really add anything because she really didn't try with Sam at all.
Emotional appeal. It was just like, let me throw this in there. So
even when he gave her a chance, he's like, if you stick around for a week,
yeah,
then like, okay, we'll start introducing you into her. And she couldn't even do that. Like,
yeah. Not only that, she broke up with her boyfriend and wanted to go back to Jake. Like,
ew.
No, ma'am. Not in this house.
I want to make my family whole again.
Oh, gross. Go live in a Hallmark movie.
I agree. It was too unbelievable. Third act breakup was annoying. However, I did love that it was resolved quickly. Give me all the epilogue bows. Love it. That is how I felt, Wendy. I'm glad that it got resolved quickly. Bye, Andrea. There's a line in Tress that goes, imagine how much we can avoid when we just talk to the person. Agreed. And we could apply that to real life. I was annoyed with the third act breakup. Anything with that is just miscommunication is tiring. Also, why did he let his ex stay in his house?
I think he's just that nice guy, and it is still the mother of Sam, and he wants to give her the benefit of the doubt. But dude, and he didn't stay there; he left.
Yeah, that does.
But at the same time,
yeah, no, I would have like Sam wasn't there. He wasn't going to be there. She could get her own hotel room. Uninvited. He had a bad night. No.
Girl, you gotta go. Annoyed me so much. That was the reason I docked it. This also reminded me of Gilmore Girls stuff that shouldn't have happened, but it wasn't my favorite by any means. Agreed. There's no reason for her to be other than plot conflict. Yeah. Didn't enjoy the third act conflicts. I did like how Jake and Evie came together to care for Sam, but the conflict didn't feel realistic. I think there either needed to be some conversation after, or he shouldn't have even let the ex stay in the first place. The parent 180 was too fast. Agreed. I didn't like how they snuck in the parents' redemption. That's a good word for it.
Exactly. Because she just put it in the epilogue, like as a quick little 2-sentence thing. And no.
Actually, they're great people. What do you guys think?
Everything's great now.
Nope. It's the romance bow I was referring to. Yeah. But where would the drama be if no one freaked out about it? Yeah.
That's true too. I mean, I'll give you that. But like sometimes I feel like authors do third act conflicts that are like more believable and more like fit with the story. It was the mistrust for me. Nothing leading up to this point made them not trust each other. No one had lied about anything. They were very upfront. She knew he had an ex. He knew that her parents were terrible. And those were the things that were wrong. But I was like, no, you already know about this stuff. So this is stupid, you know?
Right. Yeah. I know you're referring to. I think Jake's own insecurities took over in the moment, and he assumed that he would just never live up to the expectations of her parents. Oh, that's good. He allowed his insecurities to get in the way. I like that point of view. Yes, ma'am. I would have been dialing 911 and be like, this woman's in my boyfriend's house. He took it on her instead. Agreed. Okay, just a quick yes or no. Will you be continuing into the series?
Yep.
Beautiful. I am definitely going to. I really like the cover of the next one. It's a donut.
Yeah, I think that one follows June's story.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I like June's character a lot. All right. One of my favorite parts of the night. If you have ever joined for a Comfy Cozy discussion before, I always ask my co-hosts to do a casting. And let me tell you about these two individuals right here. Okay. They deliver every single time. Okay. They never do anything halfway. So we're going to go ahead and cast these characters. So I'm going to go ahead and make us small. Okay.
Oh, real small.
And being the teacher that I am, I'm going to use a slideshow. So here's the first casting. All right, ma'am. Would you like to talk about your casting?
Okay. Well, I love my casting for it. I'm terrible at fan casting. So Hannah was like, well, don't forget, we got to cast 2 characters. And I was like, great, look at this. So I really tried. I just looked up like actors and actresses that fit the vibe of how I viewed the characters in my head. So Madison Isman as Evie, I've never seen her in anything, but she was in the CMT comedy Still the King. She was also in Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween. She was a teenager in that back in the day. So obviously now she's like older, she could be, the adult or whatever. But she was also, or is going to be in Annabelle Comes Home. She was also in Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
She was.
She was the cheerleader, right?
I think, and I kind of did 2 different pictures for her because I feel like you could see her with like curly hair and like more like carefree, like I kind of pictured Evie. And then Miriam Spunkin she's been in a lot of short things. She hasn't been in any like recent movies. She has one coming out, I think maybe this year. It's some dolphin movie. I don't know. But she's been in a lot of short things. But I thought she just looked like Sam to me, like how I pictured her in my head. And then of course I had to have Charlie and Daisy because they are the real stars of the show. And they're both golden retrievers, and one's a little bit smaller than the other one. And
perfect. hit the nail on the head. Okay, our next casting belongs to Jessie.
I kind of like copied Gwen, but that's okay. So for Evie, I pictured like Amanda Bynes before her like currently. I'll just say that.
I love
Because she
that.
just had that like
Mhm.
when Evie would be like kind of snappy towards her parents, like I just pictured like something funny and witty like Amanda Bynes would say. But she
Mhm.
also has that like carefree girl next door vibes about her. Well,
Mhm.
she did. So that's who I pictured as Evie. Jacob, I have to do Tom Harding, specifically in the movie This Means War with like Chris Pine and Reese Witherspoon. I mean, he does have a British accent, but like that's okay. That just makes it better. But just like that, like I don't know, that super cool, hot dad vibe. That's who I pictured. And then as Sam, I actually pictured Bailey Madison. She has definitely grown up since then. But if you've ever seen the movie Just Go With It with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston, I picture Sam being like Bailey, kind of like I don't know, she's so cute. I love her.
And
And then
that little Polaroid that you have of her, that is Sam. I'm sorry.
yeah,
You can't
She's
convince me
so
otherwise.
cute.
She's so
She's
yes.
also
cute.
in a lot of Hannah Montana episodes, I think. And she's just
Oh.
adorable. I love
Yeah,
her.
she's so cute. Like I could just picture like so like in the movie Just Go With It, she like all of a sudden when she's like trying to like play as like one of Adam Sandler's kids, she like throws a British accent and has to stick with it. That kind of reminded me of like Sam writing the email, just being like very mischief, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
100%. Yeah.
So, and then I had to throw Charlie and Daisy in there too, but I had to throw Charlie wearing his tux like he did at the little benefit gala. So, yeah.
I love it. Love it. You both did a fantastic job. And I'm just going to let you know that being the host, I very well kept it short and sweet. I did not go as extra as Gwen and Jessie, but I only did Jacob and Evie. So I
Oh.
casted Evie as Hilary Duff.
Okay, I could see Hillary Duff playing Evie too.
She just
That's a
seems
good one.
very bubbly but also like
Girl next door.
very,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
That's
And
the vibe.
let me tell you the obsession I have with Austin Butler. He could literally play quite literally anything. I mean, this guy played Elvis for crying out loud.
Would you cast him with his like permanent Elvis voice now?
Yes. I
Okay.
love everything about it. I know that that is an unpopular opinion, but I love, and I haven't even seen the movie. I've just like seen little bits and pieces of it.
Mhm.
But the entire time, if Jake was British, Austin Butler. So I did keep it short and sweet. So that is our casting, and I like to do that for every.
No, I love it. It's like a fun challenge.
Yeah, it was a challenge for me because I'm like, I've always told Jesse, I'm like, I don't know any actors and actresses' names. I just start Googling who fits the
Mhm.
vibe that I see in my head.
Well, it's so funny. Like every time I do that, everyone like maybe there's been one or two, but everyone I've asked is always like, I don't picture people in my brain, and it's always a challenge for everyone. So I like to keep that in there.
I picture not like specific like physical things about people. I picture
Mhm.
like the vibes.
Yeah, like Girl Next Door.
Yes, Girl Next
For
Door.
Evie. Yeah. And then I went with blonde hair because she had blonde hair on the
Mhm.
cover.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so did he. That's why like I went
Oh, I
with
didn't pay
blonde
attention to
hair
that.
for Sam because I was like, if he has blonde hair, I know the mom had dark colored hair though. So
Yeah.
but I just went with
Mhm.
blonde because I was like, Evie has blonde, he has blonde, I'm going blonde.
And I also didn't cast her parents, but I 100% believe that her parents were Emily and Richard Gilmore.
Oh, yes.
100%.
That's a great comparison.
Like I could just picture them easily, like page 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Bailey Madison is a good one. I can't see her any other person now. As my dogs, Graham and Branson, they're career-trained dogs, leader dogs, or the blind dogs. Career changed is a nice way for saying they failed former formal training. Oh, bless it. Yes. Yes, y'all, he can play anything. Anything. Thank you, Sam. That's so nice. Bailey Madison cries too much and everything. Yvette, do not be mean to that precious baby. Even though she's older, much older now. Agreed. Okay. Last but not least, final ratings. Who wants to go first?
I'll go. I rated it 3 stars.
Interesting.
Which means I enjoyed it.
Just wasn't your favorite.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite.
Okay, hang on. I have a speech. Okay. So the entire time I was reading it, I was like, gosh, I'm getting like strong 5-star feelings. But then after reading the epilogue and then just kind of sitting with it, I do think I'm going to give it 4 stars. Another thing that like absolutely drove me crazy, and no one else mentioned it, is he did not want to stop telling me what color her eyes were. I was like, I get it. Not only were they green, but they were woodland green and like just like green like ivies. I was just like, dude, I get, like, I kid you not. There was one chapter where he said her eyes were a special shade of green at least 4 times. And I was like, okay, I get it.
I did not notice that.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
well,
God.
not only that, it's on the synopsis too. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. This is my favorite Sarah Adams one. It's so close to being a 5-star. Honestly, if they would have taken the epilogue out, I probably would have given it 5.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome,
So
Jessie.
I'm really, really happy I read this.
Yay. I'm gonna settle on a 3.5.
Okay.
Just because, again, there was like a big majority of the book where I was like, it was giving debut vibes, where I was like, this is very, very old. But there was also issues that I had like with that rushed, like loss of trust and all of that. So I think I'm going to settle on a 3.5. But it's definitely not my favorite. But again, I really do think she gets better with time. So.
Anybody that liked it and this was your first, you have to read. Like, I would definitely recommend Gwen and Rome series.
Agreed.
I will also say, I feel like the timing of when I read this was perfect. Like, I never once was reading it. I was like, gosh, I wish I was reading a thriller, not a romance. I was like, oh, nope, I'm in a romance mood. I'm on this train. We are good to go.
I love that, Jessie. That's awesome, because that's a lot of what you read.
I know. Really. It's about 50-50.
Wendy gave it 5 stars. I sent you photos. She was in Once Upon a Time and she never stopped crying. Oh no. 5 stars. It was a lot of fun. Like, if I was just rating Practice Girls Day, 5 stars. 5 stars. 3.75 and a 4. 3, 4. 4. Yeah, I agree. 4.5. The third act breakup made me knock it. Also wanted more build up to the romance and wanted to see more training scenes. 5. Oh my gosh, guys, if you gave this as your first Sarah Adams 5 stars, I'm so excited to see what you're going to rate the other books. All right, lovelies. First of all, I want to say thank you to both of my co-hosts for being here and reading this book with me. I love them. I love these people so much. These beautiful humans. But I also want to thank like all of you who showed up and read the book, but also those of you who like shared some pretty vulnerable things, including the both of you, because I know how like it can be hard to share open up parts of our lives. So thanks for being here with me, guys.
I loved it. Thanks for having me. Like, the discussion was great. I had a fun time reading it, and it was a perfect little trio right here.
Yes. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining. All right, we will go ahead and probably end for tonight. But if you haven't already, please upload a selfie with the book. Either you can do that on Instagram or on Discord, and I will put together a collage of all of us reading the book. So, all right, my friends, we will see you somewhere else on the internet. And thank you so much for joining me tonight. All right. Bye, friends.